Hey there, and welcome to the Hot Slice Podcast. Boy, do we have a special edition for you today. It is
Really,
Halloween, so welcome to the show. I am your host, Denise Greer, Executive Editor, and with me is the awesome team at Pizza Today. We have Senior Creative Director Josh Cowan and Editor-in-Chief Jeremy White. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey,
it's not only a special, it's a spooky edition.
Oh, wow, spooky. So what makes it spooky?
spectacular.
I think it's our amazing costumes are making it pretty spooky.
So, so for those of you that are listening and not seeing the YouTube version of the podcast,
Hmm.
we are dressed up. Now, I do have a hood, so I have the skeleton outfit from Karate Kid.
Yep.
So, I'm Johnny all the way, except for I did not have the white paint on my face. But let me just tell you, this skeleton jumpsuit is very comfortable, and I probably will wear it more often than you think. So,
Denise, you really should have committed to the bit and did the makeup and everything.
I,
Yeah,
I'm disappointed that you didn't paint your face like a
I,
skeleton.
I
You
would have
you went you went 80%, Denise, and you're not an 80%er. You're a 100%er. So I'm kind of disappointed.
I'm I'm
dressed
so
as a
sorry.
shower if I knew you were going to do that. I would have dressed.
I would love to see somebody dressed as the shower in Karate Kid. That would be amazing. So, then Josh, what do you have going on with
I have a
your outfit?
pepperoni pizza slice right here.
He's a walking pepperoni slice.
There's no cup and char on this. It's just a regular old-fashioned pepperoni.
No pineapple, no jalapeno. I mean,
No, no.
come
I
on.
mean, if
No.
I didn't make it, if I'd made it, it'd been that. But
Okay, so can I ask you something? Why on earth are all the pizza Halloween costumes all just pepperoni?
I
Like
mean,
you,
it's the most
every
popular
one of them
topping.
is pepperoni.
It's the most popular topping in America. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't it be?
yeah, well, yeah. Because if I see one that's just mushrooms, I'm not buying that
I'm
for me.
not wearing it.
You're not wearing it. You know, I mean,
Take it.
come on.
I'll buy it so no one else has to. Throw it out in the parking lot.
That's right. That's awesome. I've got a full gorilla costume, like full on gorilla costume, that I'm going to be wearing to a Halloween party that I'm really excited about. But it's really hot and it covers my entire face. So I like to lift. I'm trying to get these baby arms a little thicker, so I'm wearing my thicker treat shirt. So
There you go. And why we say here in our area of Louisville, it is like going to be 80 degrees today.
I
So
know.
having Halloween when it's warm is very weird for us. Like it's very odd.
It's unusual, but you know what? Good for the kids, the young children that are going to go out and go door to door and get candy. Unfortunately, it's supposed to rain, so they're going to have to dodge that. But you know what? I
It
mean,
doesn't
look
rain
at
in
what we
Philly.
trick-or-treated in the 70s and 80s when we were kids. We were uphill in a foot of snow both directions, right?
Yeah. So we all know that Halloween is like one of the busiest days for pizzerias. And I've already been seeing people knock out some pretty awesome Instagram posts for Halloween, like decorating the pizzas. Um, Now, if you are going to decorate a pizza, and I'm not talking about just dessert pizzas, I'm talking about like anything. I saw one that was like Frankenstein's monster, and that one was probably one of the best ones I've seen yet. So
I
what
love it.
what are you decking your pizzas out with?
I, I'm doing a marshmallow ghost pizza because I love marshmallows, and that's what I would do. It's a dessert pizza. I almost think you have to do a dessert pizza kind of for Halloween. It's a sweet treat, all that.
Yeah, I'm probably going with Frankenstein, Denise, but the green are going to be a mixture of jalapeno peppers, serrano peppers, green peppers. It's going to be a very, very spicy
Yeah,
pizza.
You're really going to be sweating in that gorilla eating that
you're gonna
spicy meat.
if you're
I'm
filling it
bringing the
all
heat.
up so that you can see like the character on there, man, that is gonna be one thick pizza of nothing but peppers. Wow.
It's very easy to make a jack-o'-lantern pizza. Papa Murphy's does it every year for people who want to bake pizza at home while they're trick-or-treating,
Mhm.
and they're not the only one. They just came to mind, but lots of pizzerias across the country do that. And why not? You're going to sell a lot of pizza on Halloween, but why not do that? It's fun for the kids, right? And that's really kind of what Halloween's all about.
I mean,
Yeah.
and it will also help your social numbers because people will take a picture of that pizza for sure
Oh
and put it on
yeah.
Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And that's just free publicity. So, yeah.
And another thing that I've seen in my area this week that I really liked, pizzerias know that their phone is going to ring on Halloween. They already know it's going to be a huge
Yeah.
sales day. A lot of pizzerias in our area decided to kind of expand that by doing a trunk or treat in their parking lots on
Yeah.
Tuesday and Wednesday, which brought people in as well a day or two before Halloween. The smart ones that I saw bundled had a nice little bundle available where you got a pizza, some breadsticks, and a drink to go for a certain price. So you're getting families to come to your pizzeria, come to your parking lot. You're handing them a handful of candy. You're filling your social media with photos, showing what you're doing for the community, and you're selling some food before Halloween as well. So
It,
I think
that's
that's really really smart.
that's exactly what we did last night at Westport
Yeah.
Village. We did the trick-or-treating around to all the stores, and then we ended up at Boom Boss, and we just like, hey, this is a perfect place to end, and let's just go ahead and have dinner here. So it worked out really well.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
smart. I love it.
I'm having my pizza tonight. We're going to Emmy Squared. So I'm gonna get my Detroit-ish, Brooklyn-ish pizza on. I think about Halloween, and then I think about the fact that tomorrow, the day after Halloween. So this is gonna air on Halloween. The day after Halloween. And I think about just, it's like the sugar hangover of all sugar hangovers and just that calm after the big rush. And I think about what employees have been through the night before and what employers can do to make them feel a little more special, maybe the next day for really hammering it so hard on Halloween. What do you think are some fun things that they should do?
It would be interesting to
Friday,
know.
because Friday,
Yeah, exactly.
it's gonna be Friday,
This
which means
year,
they're gonna
yeah,
smash it too.
yeah,
So
this year's
you,
tough with Halloween being on Thursday because you have Friday and Saturday, which are your two busiest sales days of the week anyway, coming
hmm
coming out after Halloween.
yeah. So
Be
I'm
nice
thinking
to
about
that staff. Be nice to your staff this week. Be extra nice to your staff this week.
extra nice. Find a way to appreciate them, let them know that you care and that you recognize that they're working really hard. Like you're talking about 3 huge days back to back to back, and a lot of people are going to be working all those days. So, and giving them a little bit of grace because it can be frustrating when things are really, really busy. And so if somebody, gets a little frustrated, maybe giving them a little bit of grace, not to go off too hard on them, you know.
Hey, you know what? And our pizzeria owner friends out there, they're going to need to take Sunday off and rest as well because they're gonna be slammed 3 days in a row. Ideally, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Hey, what's your
Um,
guys' I wanted to ask you guys, right? When we were young, I was really into trick-or-treating. Halloween was actually my favorite holiday, if you can
No,
believe
it's
it.
mine.
Loved it. Loved it. Obviously, like I was a spoiled child. I got plenty of awesome gifts on Christmas from my family, but Halloween was my favorite. I loved the pomp and circumstance. I loved all the decorations, the weather, the leaves hitting the ground, carving pumpkins, all the good
mhm.
stuff. Candy apples, caramel apples, trick-or-treating, seeing the costumes, the whole nine yards. I absolutely love it. When you two were younger and you went trick-or-treating, what was your favorite Halloween costume that you ever wore?
Hmm. I'll tell you my worst first, and then does that come to mind automatically? And that was the year I tried to go as a mummy. I was probably 7 or 8. Um, my parents really didn't do too well the job making this costume. It was out of toilet paper. So by the time I got to the first house, most of my costume was off already. So it was kind of a nightmare the whole night. So I was not a very good mummy. But
That's
yeah,
So
awesome.
that's my word.
best, you don't have a best?
I'm sure I do. You guys go ahead. Let me think about this.
All right. So my we all grew up in the 80s. So, unlike today when it's like real costumes, we had the plastic ones with the just like printed version
Yeah.
of your character. So if you're Spider-Man, it's just Spider-Man printed on the on the
Classic
plastic.
face. Yeah.
But one year I got to be Cookie Monster, and I was a itty bitty kid, like really, really small. But Cookie Monster was always my favorite. So Cookie Monster was by far my favorite costume.
Nice. My favorite was probably the year that I used to love the Friday the 13th movies when I was young.
Mm.
My mother, I don't think even knew that I watched them. I probably wasn't supposed to, but we had HBO and I sneak off and watch them without her knowing. So I went as Jason Voorhees one year. Had the hockey mask, had the big had the big sword and blood all over me, and I just thought it was the coolest. I just thought it was the
I,
best.
I do remember my favorite costume now. And this is really going to date me, just like those have dated you guys. Um, Spuds McKenzie, the mascot for Bud Light back in the 80s. Yep, I was in full
Mackenzie.
white and I had a Spuds McKenzie mask. So my mom sent me out, probably 7, 8 years old as a beer mascot. So there we go.
Hey, the 80s were wild. It was a different time.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
definitely the most memorable one. So.
Hi, I'm Genevieve Ruby, a fifth generation dairy farmer here in Humboldt County, California. Did you know that 99% of California's dairy farms are family owned? And we're proud to sustainably produce the milk that goes into quality cheeses you use to create your delicious pizzas. Thanks for helping make California not only America's #1 dairy state, but the leading producer of mozzarella too. We hope you enjoy this podcast.
Performance Food Service is proud to deliver high-quality products, innovative technology, and custom operational solutions to restaurants of all sizes across the country. The flagship division of Performance Food Group, with deep roots in the restaurant industry, Performance Food Service has been the exclusive distributor of the Roma family of brands for more than 65 years. This signature relationship has allowed Performance Food Service to become a leader in the pizza and Italian segment of food service nationwide.
Now, did you guys did you order pizza on Halloween? Was
Oh
Halloween
yeah.
pizza night for you back in the day?
Yeah, absolutely. So my family, because we weren't the wealthiest of families, we either got pizza from Little Caesars because you got the two in the big
You got two.
box. Yeah, two in the big box. Back in the day, they did pizza. Um, or if my parents were feeling really generous, we would get Pizza King because Pizza King was the most expensive in our area. And for some odd reason, Pizza King dominates in my
Central
hometown.
Indiana is Pizza
Yeah,
King
that
country.
it's the independents have a really hard time because Pizza King is so ingrained in that East Central Indiana community.
Mhm.
But yeah, Pizza King would be, and so you get a side of the nacho cheese and you dip your little square pizzas into the nacho cheese. That
Not
was yeah, that I don't know, it was just what you did.
sure why
But
not.
hey, I'm for it. What about you, Josh? Was it pizza night for you guys?
Uh, you know, I grew up in a very small town with like two stoplights. We didn't have a chain pizzeria. We still don't actually in my hometown.
Hmm.
Uh, it was all locally owned. It was a place called Steve's Pizza. But yeah, we would go there on most Halloweens. I remember we would get takeout from there. There's no delivery. It was always takeout.
Yeah, yeah. Same for us. I can actually top you. The town I grew up in, it now has two stoplights. However, I was in college before it got its first stoplight. So I had no stoplights in the town I grew up in. For those who don't know, listeners at home, my hometown, French Lick, Indiana, is Larry Bird's hometown. Larry Bird's mother was my next door neighbor. So
Some people aren't going to know who Larry
there's a
Bird
cool little
is.
story for you sports fans out there and your basketball fans, NBA fans. But yeah, I grew up in a small town. Likewise, no large national chains were in my town. There is one now, but there wasn't back in the day. all locally owned. And we had a favorite. It's no longer in business, unfortunately. But we had a favorite, and that was kind of our pre-game, our pre-trick-or-treating meal was that pizza. I remember one year, that pizzeria also had pastas. And I remember one year that my mother brought home a bucket, looked like a jack-o'-lantern. It was basically a bucket of spaghetti that she bought at the pizzeria. So I expected her to walk in, carrying a big box of pizza as always. She walked in with this bucket, set it down. It was spaghetti. Can't
That's
remember meatballs or meat sauce. It was spaghetti, and I about lost my ever loving crap over that. I was not having it. I mean, I'm sure I said some things that probably got me put in the timeout corner, and I probably didn't eat that night other than candy. But yeah,
Oh
we can't
God.
make that mistake. It's pizza night on Halloween.
listeners, there's a brand new marketing idea right there for
There
you.
you go.
Pumpkin
Buckets of
full,
pasta.
buckets of pasta, just slam it on the table. I mean, that's gonna feed the whole family like 8 days.
Look, it makes sense. It makes sense for the pizzeria. It's easy to produce. It's cheap. It's profitable. It makes sense for the parents, right? It's easy. It's cheap.
Yeah.
But I was not having it. I absolutely was not having it.
Well, when you go to a
Such a visual.
pizzeria and you have the expectation of pizza and then mom comes home with pasta, you're like, wait, hold on. You went to a pizzeria. I want the pizza.
Yeah, yeah. What was your favorite candy to get as a trick-or-treater when you were younger?
We talked about this before.
We
Yes.
did.
Kit
I,
Kats and
I probably
Reese's.
I probably won't even say the right one again. I say the same one again.
Probably not.
Snickers, of course, was always king. Trying to think of an offshoot one that was low key really good.
Whoppers.
Whoppers? Yeah, I never was a
Don't like
Whopper
those.
fan. Sweet tarts. Sweet tarts.
Gonna say that. I had that in my head.
Solid.
Sweet tarts.
I don't even
Solid.
see sweet tarts anymore. Have you seen any sweet tarts lately?
And Sprees. Do you guys remember Spree?
Yeah,
Yes.
Sprees?
I do.
That was my movie theater candy of choice. I never see those anymore either. For me, it had to be the little Butterfinger bites, the tiny little things. I could eat about
Oh yeah.
170 of them an hour, I think, when I was a kid.
I
Those
love
those are really
Butterfingers,
good.
The
but
worst were
I have
those
to pick them out of my teeth for like
black.
45 minutes afterwards.
The worst were those, like, they were just wrapped in orange wax wrappers. I don't even know what it was. And they were black wrappers. And then you're
Oh,
just like, what is this inside? And it tasted
they
like
had like a
rubber.
nutty, almondy, I don't
Yeah.
know, some kind of nutty
I
type
don't know. I thought
flavor.
it tasted like
Um,
rubber, but
yeah, yeah. So
and
so
then candy
pizzeria owners
corn.
don't give those out at your trunk or treats.
Hey,
Do
I
not.
understand that we have a dessert pizza, a Halloween dessert pizza, where we put candy corn on it.
Yeah.
Um,
Look,
and
Denise, here's the
forgive
thing.
us.
We used to experiment a lot in our test kitchen and really do some off the wall recipes. And while I'm 100% down with playing around with some good Halloween dessert pizza recipes, as a lifelong hater of candy corn, I am vehemently opposed to utilizing candy corn in any dish ever. So that's not on me right there. I
I will.
didn't I didn't make that pizza.
That's probably on me a little bit because I knew it would look good in a photo,
He's like
and I
visual. I need the visual
visual
prettiness.
of it. Like definitely screams Halloween pizza, so that's what we're kind of going for. Do I regret it? Yes, very
Yeah.
much. But that's the way it was.
So blame
So,
Josh if you are
yeah.
attempting to make that pizza either this year or next year for Halloween to serve your guest. Blame Josh. I'm just gonna say, just go ahead
Or
and take the
just
candy
sub out the
off.
candy corn, just
Can we
sub it
take that
out
off
for
the
something
website?
else.
Can we take
No,
it off the website?
no, I'm keeping it. It's on there
It
forever.
gets too many
It's
hits,
never
Denise.
going
We got to leave
away.
it up.
It's never going away. So if you go to our recipes on pizzadata.com, there's a whole how to and things. Um, but yeah, okay, so if you were going to make a dessert pizza, a sweet dessert pizza, uh, or if you wanted to go to a pizzeria and get one, what is going to pique your interest? Like what do you want on that pizza, on that dessert pizza?
Nutella is always going to be there for me as far as
Yeah.
um, you know, a spread, because that's always good. Let me think. Hmm. Yeah, I would just say you put anything on Nutella, and I'm pretty much game.
Agree. You guys know me really well, and you guys already know that aside from pizza, my favorite food in the world is peanut butter. I call myself a peanut butter addict, and I'm not
Yeah.
joking when I say that. I eat it almost every single day in some shape or form. So for me, it would have peanut butter on it. You can never go wrong with Nutella. Like Josh said, peanut butter and Nutella are great. I would probably have a really thick peanut butter base, a little bit of Nutella, sliced bananas, crushed up pistachios, maybe a little drizzle of honey. And that is right in my wheelhouse right there for
Yeah.
sure. What about you, Denise?
So I'm thinking of more of a, I like things that are made with like the real ingredients when I get, because I'm not a huge sweet fan, so I don't like anything that's super, super sweet. So for me, it would probably be like mascarpone and then maybe doing like like a mix of like pumpkin with some spices and things and do some dollops of those. Uh, and then I would have like a chocolate drizzle probably on it or a caramel drizzle. I don't know. Just make it pretty basic and just delicious. That's that's what I would go for.
They all sound good. I
That
think they
sounds that
all,
sounds amazing. We got to bring the test kitchen back and get on
yeah,
that for
I
sure.
think they
Yeah.
all would sell well, especially this time of year.
Yeah, exactly. So before we get off this podcast, November is starting, and November is going to be crazy for us, for everyone else. Um, but we have PizzaCon coming. We're taking off next week for PizzaCon, so we're really excited about that. If you're there, make sure you hit us up because we will be bringing the podcast to PizzaCon. So
Yeah.
I want to interview you. So just tap me on the shoulder and let's do a 10-minute interview.
Yeah, I'm excited for PizzaCon next week. We fly out on Wednesday. And yeah, I'm just more than anything, of course, it's getting to see all our people and stuff. That's great. But I'm really looking forward to the venue and how that would work with
Yeah.
PizzaCon at the Fillmore. It's a beautiful venue, some beautiful rooms, and I think it's gonna bring a really good energy to PizzaCon.
I agree 100%. I'm super pumped about it. And I've said this before that that is a legendary venue. Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin were on that stage. And after next week, we're going to be able to say Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, Jeremy White were on that stage. And I can't
Right.
wait.
That's
I'm
amazing.
sure there's a wall backstage you can sign, right
That's
there.
right.
Led Zeppelin.
Hey, I'm really excited just to go to Philly, and I'm going to put this out there to our listeners. If you could only go to two pizzerias in
Yeah.
all of
Mhm.
Philly, you could only go to two. We all know how many pizzerias
It's a
there
great
are in
pizza town,
Philly.
Denise. You're pushing it.
It is a huge pizza town. If you could only go to two, let us know what two are you going to. Put it on our social media on comments, send me an email because I'm trying to narrow it down of who I'm going to visit, and it's really 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 hard. I think I have 10 on the list right now,
I have a
so I
flight
need to
late.
narrow it
My
down.
flight is late on Friday. So I plan on, getting a good night's rest and then waking up and just hitting pizzerias until it's time to go to the airport.
Yeah,
That's a great plan. I love the Philly cheesesteak. You guys know that. I'm super excited to get a cheesesteak as soon as I land. But then after I eat a cheesesteak, I'm going straight to get some pizza as well. There are some really outstanding pizzerias in Philadelphia, and with us having what 2.5 days there, we're gonna have to
definitely
really cram
crash it.
them in.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be a lot of fun, of course.
Yeah. So I totally forgot about this before we hang up completely on this call. We just announced something freaking huge. So where are we going in October of next year?
Columbus, Ohio, Pizza Expo Columbus. It's Bill Oakley for many, many years has wanted to have a show in Columbus, Ohio, and he's gotten his wish. We've pulled it off. He has worked very hard on this, and it's a great market. It's a great pizza market for those who may not know. If you're outside the state of Ohio, Ohio has one of the largest concentrations of pizzerias per capita of any state in the U.S. There's a thriving pizza market in the state of Ohio. Columbus is a great city. We all spent some time there about 6 weeks ago, checking out the convention center, checking out the city, checking out the conference rooms, and the convention show floor, so we can figure out what the hall is going to look like. I'm really, really excited about Columbus. It's going to be a great event and a great show, and super, super excited. That is going to happen roughly a year from now in October 2025.
Yeah, I was blown away by the Columbus Convention Center, the Greater Columbus Convention Center, as they call it. It was probably the nicest convention center I've ever been in. I loved it, and I think it's just gonna. I think, with it being kind of located right there in the middle of everything, with restaurants and everything, hotels, walking distance, it's the perfect spot for a pizza expo. But don't get confused. It is not replacing the International
No,
Pizza Expo.
absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
That is
Yeah.
forever in Las Vegas, right there. This is just Pizza Expo Columbus. We're bringing all the best things of Pizza Expo, but we're just going to have it in Columbus as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's going to be convenient for a lot of people. It's a short drive from Cleveland, Chicago, Detroit, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Short drives from all those cities, Lexington, Kentucky,
We're
not
driving.
far from St. Louis. Yeah, short drive from all those cities. And then obviously, if you're Florida, if you're on the West Coast, hop a flight just like you would to Vegas. You'll be there in no time. Great city, good restaurants, and more importantly, we are going to have a really, really outstanding show there.
Yeah. And between now and then, we're going to have to get like a collective of Columbus area pizzerias on the show to talk about what they think Columbus style pizza is. Because
Yes.
I am still I think it's tavern. I think it's basically their take on tavern style. But I'm not sure. So let us know. What
Thinking
is
it was a
Columbus
thicker
style?
pizza, like a more Midwestern, thicker pizza, but I could be wrong. I have no idea. So that's what I was thinking, but who
So
knows?
between
I guess
now
we'll
and
figure it
then.
out soon. We'll figure it out soon.
We're going to have to dress up as Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, and we're going to have to get to the bottom of this. We're going to have to really investigate and get to the bottom of this.
I love it. I love it. Well, y'all have a wonderful Halloween. I hope that you're just busy and you're really knocking it out of the park and continue to have a great weekend. But then you're able to maybe rest Sunday or Monday, and then we'll catch you in Philadelphia on Thursday.
Looking forward to it.
Cheers.
See ya.
See ya.